What's going on, guys? Welcome back in. Happy Friday to everyone out there. You've seen earlier this week my what's in the bag in golf. Today, what's in the bag in hockey. What I'm currently using, we're gonna find out. I got some cool stuff in there, some stuff that I used for a long time, some newer stuff. We'll see. Let's get to it. Thanks for watching. Peace. All right, guys, we'll jump back into the what's in the bag video in a little bit here, but first, I just got off the ice right now. Just want to show you something. Check this bag out right here. Literally just got off the ice. New Conway+Banks bag. Check out that. At Bubs P. If you didn't know already, head to my Instagram, like, subscribe. Conway+Banks did this bag up for me. So many compartments in this thing. You can put your jersey right under there, in this side bin, jersey, socks. I have all my stuff in here. I have my own gitch bag, but comes in with a built-in gitch bag that comes off. You have a phone compartment. I've never seen a bag with a phone compartment before. And get this, hold on, get this. Even better, check this out right here. Boom, flip that open right there. The floors are pretty gross, like they are like in this building. They don't really wipe them and stuff, whatever. I can kick my skates on. I got my own personal fold out pad right there. So kick the skates on, boom, do them up. That way you don't wreck your steel and stuff. But guys, head over to Conway+Banks right now. Check them out. And they got some really good stuff. Hockey season is fast approaching. I wish I had one of these when I first started because I forgot my skates. You already heard multiple times. So if you don't want to forget your skates like me, head on out there, grab yourself a Conway+Banks bag. Now back to the what's in the bag. All right, guys, so we're starting just with the Carolina bag. Went to camp in Carolina. They're the latest NHL team I was affiliated with per se. So I'm gonna open this baby up. If you notice here, you ain't stealing my address. That's a little housekeeping thing, a little Easter egg for you. Have a great day. But I'm gonna go through everything from what I would put on, like how I would get dressed for the game or for practice or just putting the gear on in general. So I'm gonna run you through some key things I got in my bag, starting with this right here. So we got the laundry bag, the gitch bag as we call it. So every guy gets a gitch bag, custom one. Obviously I was wearing 42 at the time. That holds all your laundry, everything in it. What I usually wear, I wear tight bottoms, so it'll be tight pants on the bottom. I've kind of switched. I used to be tight, like full long sleeve on top too, but now I've gone to more of a loose long sleeve, which is more of like a cottony shirt. One thing that I keep, actually two things I keep in these bags that are kind of pretty key for me. One is this thing right here. Go ahead and zoom in on that, baby. This is called a heel bow. So if I can find the clip, I'll pop it up, but I doubt I'll be able to find it. I got hit in Calgary in my first season. I think it was by like FNUF or something like that in the corner. I got rubbed out. It wasn't anything crazy. I went down, I landed on my elbow like this, like my elbow pad slid up and I landed dead on my elbow. And then I always had this freaking little bumps in my elbow. So right away they put me onto one of these. I wear it underneath, like so it slides on almost like Allen Iverson, if you remember in the NBA. That goes on under my shirt and then it just sits really, really easy. So I've been using this for the whole time I've been pro. That was my first year pro. Now I'm in 7-8 years. Next, these Warrior socks. So probably gonna catch a little bit of grief for not wearing cut-proof socks or whatever. But these have just been really comfortable and they've been a mainstay in my bag. I got them, I forget, I think over in Europe in 2021 season, and then in Edmonton, they re-upped. They had like a couple pairs around there for me. So I've been wearing these. Like you'll find over the course of the video, I'm not like, I don't call myself picky. I just know what I like and what I should feel. So these are something that, you know, could I wear another sock? Totally, but I don't like a very thick one and I don't like a real thin one. These have been comfortable for me, so I've been wearing these for the last few years. So those are two things in the gitch bag that have been a mainstay for me. So we get rid of the gitch bag. So going on to the next thing, and let me dig a little bit here of how I get dressed. The next thing I put on are these babies right here. These are called bunga pads. So I have this one that's cut out in a shape. I have this one that's a square. You kind of hold like this. And then I have two separate pads. So what I do is I got lace bite. Anyone who's ever had lace bite, worst thing you can get in hockey, man. Legit, like, I don't even know how it comes up. It does. Like, I was skating one day and all of a sudden my foot hurt. Wasn't wearing my gear. I've worn it the same my entire life, and then all of a sudden it hurt, and then I couldn't skate the next day, and then the next day was worse, next day, and I ended up getting an injection. It healed it. A lot of guys don't do that. They use like well, they use these bunga pads to help heal it, but they use what do you call that, like a donut. They put a donut on there. What did you try, Brett? Like,
yeah, I had the gel pad donut.
Pretty much do most things. So I've worn these. Brett gave me these when I was like Michigan State, early years, man. I was 13, 14. I had these bunga pads. So I've been wearing these for a long time since then. I mean, I still ended up getting lace pipe because of that, but this is one thing that is a mainstay that I'm so comfortable wearing. If I go without it now, it feels like I have way too much room in my skate. So these are key. Get rid of those. Now we dig. What else I got in here? What am I trying to find next? So I see the one. So next mainstay, Shock Doctor, and this ain't sponsored either. Shock Doctor Jock. I've used the Shock Doctor again since I've been 14. You gave me another one. Like, a lot of these things are coming from my brother from Michigan State. You gave me a Shock Doctor, I'm positive, and I've been rolling with it ever since. Obviously not this same one, because these things get like super stretched out, but across the NHL these are like always used. So this is it. But if you want to hear something even funnier, now there's a lot of things going around. Like, I could, you know, if I don't get friggin' demonetized here, I'll try and pop up the clip of Crosby with them talking about him using the same jock since he's been however years old. But this cup, now I've gone up a couple sizes since then, if you know what I'm talking about. But you know, my stuff might not fit in this, but this I've had since I was also 13, 14. I've worn the same cup, but I just rotate and get new jocks all the time. So keep my lucky cup. That's out of the bag. We put that on next. Next, I put on my Shinners. So these Nexus ones, these are somewhat of a newer stay in the bag. These are probably like 2020. There is a story that goes with these that I told Brad the other day, but I'm gonna save that for a rainy day. These ones are done up custom by, I forget, man, I'm drawing a blank on our Russian trainer's name we had in Detroit. He's since passed away. Very good guy, but he was like the best. Worked for the Soviets back in the day. The Soviet Red Army team, and he could sew anything on. So he put this patch on there for me where I was like taking pucks down there and stuff. He could sew like literally anything on any material. But these have been a mainstay in the bag. I always, you'll notice one thing up here, I always cut. I hate the top bit. When it sits on there like that, I don't like that like top bit because it gets in the way of my pants and stuff. And then one thing you'll notice too, no straps. Never any straps on my shin pads, literally since wore old Jofas back in the day when I was like, I don't even know, just learning how to play, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. I always thought it was like NHL, it's pro to wear no straps on the Shinners. That's very, very NHL. So never any straps on the Shinners for me. These are somewhat newish too. Actually, I would probably say these are like the newest thing. I've always been more of like a full-on pants guy, but I've dabbled around with these recently. So the girdle, the only time I wore a girdle other than this in junior, first 2 years I wore the old Reebok girdle, sorry. So these are really light. I like these. Go with the Bauer shell, these are really cool. The obviously the colors of Carolina to match that. But the Bauer Supremes, yeah, they're comfy, and I like that back thing too. One thing for me, you'll see, like, hopefully I can pop up a couple goals or pictures or whatever. I always like tuck my jersey in the back thing, even though you're not supposed to. I love the feel of that, because I like when, if guys always go to cross check you, I like it hitting that thing. So put my pants on next, and then I'm gonna come to this, put my skates on after my pants. So these babies, these are somewhat newish too. Got the BP on there, really small tongue. I cut the tongue down here because the tongue comes and it's like sticks out of the boot like crazy. So one thing with these are not modded up yet. I usually mod them up, you know, doing a couple different things to them. I put the tuck on there, the Bauer tuck. I've been a Bauer guy my whole entire life. These Catalysts, these are nice. They're really light. I try to replicate a feel of my best feel, and I was saying this to Brett, was the Bauer APX and Bauer 1X. Those skates are what I'm trying to replicate. Extremely light. I need that tuck on there, and this is for the main reason. Fusion steel. These steel are 10 years old, 10 years plus, at least. Maybe early, like 2010, 2011-ish. I heard a skating coach back in the day told me, these steel plus flat bottom grind. Flat bottom, I get 90, 75 sharpening on these steel. That's the best combo for glide and bite. And I've stuck by that my whole career. Different guys will say, you know, you need a bigger steel, or I've had like so many trainers be like, this steel is gonna break, it's this, it's that. At the end of the day, guys, it doesn't matter what trainers say, whatever about your equipment. If you like it and it works for you and you feel comfortable on it, don't change for anybody. And I've tried to keep that motto. I actually learned that, shout out to Stan Wilson, who was our head trainer in for Phoenix, for the Coyotes. When I first came in, he told me that, you know, whatever I wanted to use, as long as I was comfortable as the player, he was fine with that. So these are one things, you know, little funny story for you. They ran with them for years, like Bauer, as kind of like almost, they were really good, they pushed them, and then they fell back on them because I think a few pairs had broke on different teams, you know, and trainers started to get angry that they were breaking. I've, knock on wood, I haven't had a pair break yet, but one thing, they stopped making them, just like, you know, everything else in Bauer, CCM, you know, they stopped making all this stuff. So during COVID, that's when, like, I was down in my last few pairs, started to kind of have to look on different stores, Hockey Monkey, all those things. And shout out to Hockey Monkey, because I bought 100 pairs of these, took them in my own hands, and was like, I'm having these for the rest of my career. So that's my story about Fusion Steel. Love these babies, probably never gonna leave. I've seen Bauer kind of re-upped and did like a different version of that. I'll pop that up this past year or whatever. Same sort of idea as these Fusions, but I don't really see it going anywhere. I bend the tongues, just a small little tongue, but very light skate, and very, you know, that's how I kind of like that. So we will get to, I have other steels that I wear too. I don't wear those all the time, so I strictly only wear those for games, and that's pretty much it. One of the older pieces of gear I have, these shoulder pads right here. You notice Reebok ain't been around for a long time. One of the things is missing, but Reebok, I've had this sewn on here like as an extra, you know, because there's no stickiness anymore. I've had, this is Modification City, so I get cross-checked all the time, lower arm, so that's modification on there. You know, they put these little chips in here. You ever wonder how they monitor how fast we're going, blah, blah, blah. They put the chips in there and there. At the back, I'm missing pads. The funny thing about it, you see these little flaps right here? So these kind of flaps, my first year, I'd come in to Niagara, and Ryan Strom had the same sort of like flaps on there. It was like a pad, like for getting cross-checked. And I seen that, and you know, I had never, like, first time in junior, you didn't even know that was possible, like, before, of like, because you had no one working on your gear, right? So I told him, or I told the trainer, hey, I want what Stromer's got there, like, put that on there for me too. These things, honest to God, I don't even know if they do anything. Like, there's hardly really any padding on there. And I used to have a big back pad on there to stop from, like, really getting it hard in there. And then even I had a bit sewn on to here that went around and protected your ribs too, but that was like too much. So I kind of chopped that off once it turned pro. I had that for, I think, my last year or two in junior. But these Reebok ones, money, man. Those have been in the bag forever. And thought about changing this year, going to something else, because they're so old. They don't, like, they just soak up the water. So like when I sweat, these are like 1,000 pounds. But you know what? I like them, so they're comfy. Next thing I put on after those, these are also almost as old, but new-ish compared to those. Things are falling apart somewhat. These tack CCMs I got these, I think, my last year junior. I switched to these, so you know, these are 7, 8 years old now. Stuff is wearing away. One thing you'll notice, pad, so I put that on, it sits like that right there, so I got cross-checked there a couple times. You learn out, like, you learn the NHL real quick. You go against guys, the old LA team, we used to play them all the time, right, in Arizona. Matt Green, Phaneuf, Robin Regier. Man, you face those guys, like, even like Doughty to an extent. Like Martinez was there, Muzz was there, like a lot of just big meat, right? Like, you're gonna get cross-checked. So I learned quick, like, I need extra protection, arms, because they always come and they get you right there in the side of the arms, like basically like right here. They're like cross-checking you. They're trying to almost get ribs, but you're kind of like this. So extra protection. Wrists, that's where this thing, I switched to that my first year pro. I seen, like, I'll pop up like Stamkos, Kucherov, bunch of guys like all wear that across the league. Patty Kane, quick story about Patty Kane, actually. This is coming direct too. Like, I was in there chatting to the trainer one day because he used to rotate elbow pads like crazy, and I seen the trainer like taking this thing off. Pat wears this on his thing, and I said, like, what do you do? He just rotates all the time. He said, yeah, he's gone through, like, we were close to the end of the season at that point. He had went through 60-something pairs of elbow pads because he didn't like that they, like, slide down on him. So he always wants a fresh pair. They had a bunch of these, but for 60 pairs, you have to, you know, unsew and then take them off, sew them on a new pair. So Kaner, he always had these things on. Man, if they're good enough for Kaner, I'm wearing them too. So yeah, that's another piece that I wear. Then put my jersey on. Next thing that comes on, final last piece of equipment, pretty much my helmet. So I've been in this model here. This is the one from, yeah, from camp. From that's the colors right there of Carolina, the white and red. Been in this since probably 20. Well, when I went to Europe, I switched this. I'll pop them up. I was a Bauer guy, wore different types of Bauers, and then switched into this one. I like it. It's got that, I like that foam in there. It's the soft foam and stuff. And one thing you'll notice with me, I'll pop up a bunch of different stuff. I switch visors a lot. So I'm currently in this, it's kind of falling down, it's loose on here, but it's this Hosa visor. So it's smoked, it's tinted. But I've worn a ton of different visors. I've definitely tried my fair share. Obviously, if you've seen the video of me get the skate through the face, I was wearing the heater visor for a couple years there. Now I'm on to this one. I like this one. I like the tint. I've had a few concussions and whatnot too, so I like the little, like, darker shade almost. But with the, like, real dark one, which I've worn before, and I'll pop it up from Arizona. Going into some rinks, it's like too dark. Like, Montreal is a really dark arena, so to wear like a dark shield in there is like, honestly, somebody switched the whole damn lights off on you. So this thing is not that bad. It just takes a little bit of the edge of, like, the whiteness off, which I really like. So I've been in this tack one for a while. I don't know if I would change or not. we'll see. I mean, this fits my head good. I think that the head is one of the most important things in your body, right? So that protects me pretty good. So that's about it. But the last thing that I use before I go on the ice, I put my helmet on, get ready, I grab these things, and then I grab my stick and go out. The gloves. So same, the red colors. These are the Warrior. I don't even know what these, the QR edges, coverts, I think. So use these. I think these are actually Tony D's. Shout out to Tony D. On here, the white palms. Usually, if I have mine custom done, I like black palms on the Warriors. But really simple. Like I kind of like, I didn't like that cuff thing on there before, but I actually really like that now, because the cuff thing used to kind of get in the way of that white thing. This baby on there, it kind of used to like hit it and stuff, but I got used to the feel and I really liked them. I got a pair of these in Edmonton. When I first went there, I was hot. Obviously, you got off to a big start in preseason with these exact like gloves, so liked them ever since. I think Warriors always been, I wore them when I was young, and I always like them. They make some good gear. You know, I like their like more gear side of stuff, like sticks, but the gear is good. All right, now we kind of got through the gear side of things. Let's go through a couple little things that I keep in my bag. So always a pair of sandals. Going through different rinks and stuff, you need sandals in the bag. Going in and out of different showers, you don't want athlete's foot, or even like stepping in other guys' spit and all that other stuff. Whatever's on the floor in there, it's probably like, if you're a hockey guy watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Place really ain't that clean, so need a pair of sandals at all times. This is very important in this bit. All us pro guys, we carry a pouch with us. Now this is a very generic pouch, just has my basically number on it. I think this was from camp in Carolina too. But in here, now we're gonna bring it over this side. In here, you really have, basically these are like my essentials. So you got some slash, or these aren't slash guards, but they're more to protect your wrist. If you've seen Evander Kane get cut last year from skate, you put them on like that. So I wear these during the season. We have, I like my own baby powder. I don't use the team's baby powder, call it superstition, whatever, but I like my own. I use that. Basically, there's some things in here that are not superstition, but I carry because they bring me happiness when I look at them and stuff, and they're kind of almost sentimental value I've picked up along the way, and like little things, you know. So you'll see some pretty cool little trinkets, per se, should we call it. Carry this. This is actually a pretty key title. I like their stuff, not sponsored, but that's for like heat and for your joints and all that kind of stuff. I'll put that on like if I'm not feeling good on my legs. Carry around this thing. Check out my Instagram page, GPC liquid, optimize the brain. Use that quite a bit. You guys will laugh at this pen. So I actually have two of them. Both. This one was from my time playing with Ambry. So call this a little bit of a superstition here. I used this pen and then scored, and then of course it was like, you know, I used it to mark, I was wearing 96, so 96 on my sticks, boom, score. Then I was like, okay, like use that same one again. Then just ended up keeping the pen. I was like, man, I need that like coming home with me. Obviously went on the run in Edmonton, did well, blah blah blah, and then I couldn't find the pen, went missing, and I lost it. Went over for Spangler Cup, and then I was like, I'm in Switzerland again, I gotta get another pen. So I grabbed another pen while we were over in Switzerland. These might not even be, they could be Canadian, I don't even know, but both these pens are from over in Swiss. They hold kind of value in my head. So other things I carry in here, we have just screws. I like carrying my own sort of screws and stuff for visors and helmets. I'm always kind of flopping and changing. Lizard skins. I use lizard skins on my sticks and stuff, so that's that. I use this thing inside my helmet. It's this no sweat thing. You place it right here on your helmet, and then you kind of get no sweat. I started wearing it when I had longer hair. Right now, probably wouldn't be as much important. We got mouth guard in here. This, I got a few of them in there. White, sometimes I'll rotate white and regular. I was really riding the white this year, seemed to be working for me. My own screwdriver. I carry a couple rocks. This one here actually always makes me think of my mom when I see it. She actually gave me this, so carry that in there. Carry this one for good energy, cleansing energy. So, and these scissors. So I taped the toe, I never used to, but you'll notice these scissors got a bend to them. So the trainer in Chicago gave me these, shout out Parchi, and he gave these to Nikita Kucherov, and Kucherov went and won the scoring title that year. So he doesn't like to take credit for it, but he did tell me he gave him the scissors and then he won the scoring title. So then after that, he gave me these. So it didn't really work for me, but I kept them. That's about it, guys. Extra bungas in there. Now I'll get to my last thing. Oh, actually, this is one very special thing in here. I've carried this for 7 years. You notice Tucson Roadrunners. This is Craig Cunningham. When he had his accident, I was playing with Cunny at the time, and had basically a heart attack on the ice. And yeah, this is him. I always carry this with me. When I see it, it makes me smile and think of good times. So shout out to Cunny. I hope he's doing good, and yeah, everything's all well. My last thing that I carry, alternate steels. Shout out to the Yotes. The Yotes are no longer. The owner said, see you later, I ain't doing this, alligator. I carry alternate steel. So these ones, Bubs on there. These are from Blade Tech. I carry basically alternate sets of steel. I wear these in practice. Not exactly the Blade Techs every time. I also have a pair of LS2s, but guys get a kick out of the gold ones, and they always laugh when I wear them. So I break these out and I rotate. I like wearing a big, well, you can see, like, they're massive compared to, if you see a set of these, the actual size of them are like massive compared to the Fusions. So I like skating on in practice a really big, like, heavy set. I almost use it as a training aid, like you would in golf, like the old Momentous, if anyone like kind of remembers that. It's like using a heavier club, basically. You know, I use heavier weighted basically stuff. Then when I get to the game, I go to them small little light ones. I'm like, holy man, I'm flying out here. So guys, that's all that was in my bag today. Thanks so much for watching the video. As always, share this with everyone around that you can. Let's try and promote this. And I'm gonna have a giveaway coming up, 25K. Let's get to 25K subscribers, and I'm gonna give away either a sign stick or just a stick to use. You pick. Whoever wins can either have it signed by me or something to use. So guys, thanks again as always for watching, liking, and subscribing. We're back here every week. Make sure to tune in. Peace and cut.